take a couple of minutes to talk to you guys about how Canterwood got started. Way back in 2006, I was a senior in college at Florida State University, and I thought, I wonder if I could write a book. I'd written magazine articles and started when I was 15, and I didn't think that I could write full-length fiction. But I loved horses so much, I thought, maybe I can give it a try. But the problem was, I had been a rider my entire life until I was 13, and then I had to have back surgery for scoliosis. So now I have 2 steel rods, one on each side of my spine, and about 13 screws holding those rods against my spine. And the doctors told me, if you ride and fall off, you could be paralyzed. So at 13, my dream, just like Sasha's, of making the equestrian team were over, and I was absolutely devastated. That was something that I really for my entire life. So 6 years after that, I didn't think about horses. I put away all of my saddle books, my thoroughbred books, any feeding horses. I would pass a horse in the car and turn my head the other way. It was just way too painful to look at horses and see them. I finally, when I was 19, I thought, I cannot stay out of horse world any longer. I miss this so much. And even though I couldn't ride, I thought that writing about horses would be a way to ease myself back into it, and maybe I would hate it, maybe it would be too painful, and maybe I'd write 1 page about riding, and I would be able to do it. But you know what? At least I would try. So in October of 2006, I heard about this contest that I encourage all of you to go to my blog and learn about. That's called National Novel Writing Month. And what that means is, every single November, hundreds of thousands of people from all across the globe get together, and their goal is to write a 50,000-word novel in 30 days. So you have to turn off that inner editor that's saying that paragraph is awful, cross it out, rewrite it. And the goal is just to get a book down. You can worry about editing it later, but to get the book down. And this is a program that's used in many, many, many different English classrooms across the country. And lots of schools have taken it on. There's a young writers program, actually, that schools have been implementing. And you can make any month National Novel Writing Month. If you can't do it in November, pick out a summer month where you're not as busy. Maybe make it July. But I thought, it's now or never. I'm going to try it. I'd like to do it. It's 30 days. I'll go for it. So in between scrambling to college class and continuing to freelance write articles, I started writing Take the Reins. And I was so intimidated by it. And I thought, I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to make it. And I had really down days where I wanted to give up and stop. But when I started really thinking about it, I realized that writing about Sasha was my dream. If I could still be writing, I would be doing exactly what she was doing. And so I realized that through Sasha and Callie and all of her friends, the lovely Heather, that I was living vicariously through my characters, and it felt like I was writing again. And then the pages just flowed, one after the other. They kept coming and coming and coming, and I got so into it. And so by the end of November, I had a really, really, really bad, embarrassingly bad finished draft of Take the Reins, but it was finished. So I printed it and did the little bit that I knew about editing and tried that. And I did a post on my blog saying, man, I finished a book. I wrote a book in 30 days. It's about horses and boarding school, and I am really excited about it. And I got an email a couple weeks later from an agent who said, hey, I saw on your blog that you wrote a book about horses. Could you send it to me? And I thought, no way, this is a scam. Agents don't do that. They just don't send you an email and say, we want to see your book. So I contacted an author friend of mine and said, do you know the name of this person? Is she legit? And she said, she is actually, send her your manuscript. So I did, and she signed me as a client, and together we worked to about 4 months of editing Take the Reins to get it into good shape, to get ready for her to submit to publishing houses. And we went to Simon & Schuster and said, hey, we have this book, here it is, what do you think? And they came back to us within 10 days and said, we love Take the Reins, but what do you think about writing 3 more and turning it into a book series? And I was blown away. I thought, absolutely, but can I write more books? I didn't know. And I said yes, and I did write those books. And 4 turned into 8, and it turned into 12, and it turned into 16, and now it's turned into 20. So there will be 20 books coming out, and I can't believe that 20 books and a super special. It's just so crazy to have that. It was always my dream when I read the Saddle Club or Thoroughbred, seeing all of those books one after the other. And now when I see my own books on shelves, I can't believe that I have an actual series that's building. It's exciting and fun. And all of the covers that you see are actually done live in New Jersey, and they're photo shoots. And I've attended the shoots, and we have a hairstylist and someone who does accessories and picks out all the clothes for all of the models. And I get to choose the horse to make sure that it works for the book. And it's about a 16-hour day with a crew of about 20 people. And we go and we shoot 4 covers at a time. And they hire models from Ford and Prada modeling agencies that'll fit the description of what I tell them I would like the character to look like. So that's really, really fun, being able to go and kind of pick out their clothes and dictate how I want the front of each book to look and set that up. And the shoots are really awesome. And when I met Jill, the model who plays Sasha on Take the Reins, I had a huge dork moment because I almost wanted to go up to her and say, Sasha, be really careful. I just saw that Heather arrived, and she's really dangerous. Watch out. And I thought, if you do that, she's going to be afraid of you. She's going to think you're a dork. But I've become really, really close with my group of models, and they're all fantastic and wonderful. And this whole thing has been an absolute dream. I live in Brooklyn now, and I write maybe 6 to 8 hours a day, depending on where I am in the process. And the first step is to get the draft down, and then I'll print it and edit it. And editing for me doesn't just mean going through and changing words. It means cutting entire chapters, moving pages, adding pages, doing lots and lots of rewrites to do a good edit. And then I'll key in all those changes to the computer, do another round of edits. This time it's a little smaller. And then I'll print it and give it to Kate, and she'll do her round of edits. And then we submit it back to Simon & Schuster, and they'll have someone do copy edits. And a copy editor just checks for grammar and spelling and mistakes, those type of very small things. And I'll get it back, look it over, and I get it sent to me in book form, so it will come on an 8x11 piece, all laid out just like this. Final product, and that's your last chance to catch any mistakes in the actual book. And then they bind it up, and about a month before the release date, I get a finished copy of Take the Reins, or of Take the Reins of any of the books, and it's so amazing. The thrill never goes away when you open that box and you see the book that you poured everything into for however long. Those late nights where you stay up all night long and your fingers are hurting and you're downing the coffee and Skittles and candy. It's all worth it when you see your book there and it's finished. So that's a little bit about the process of how I work writing these books. And I would love to take questions if you guys have any.